Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We'll try this one more time. Hopefully, it's working. I'm sure you guys will let me know. And happy Monday. Welcome to D&V Investigations, where we have a little less D, but a whole lot of balls. And I am your host, Vicky. Please let me know, please, in the chat. Yay! I have no idea what happened. My laptop is almost as ancient as I am, and it actually took about almost 15 minutes just for it to reboot. I don't know. Everything was green. I'm listening to myself. The test on SteamYard says it's getting my mic. Anyway, I don't know. But hello again. Hello again. Oh, a little catch up from last week. I know. Talking about Ethan again. Of course, we're going to be talking about Ethan all the time because this is a ComicsGate channel. But here, so apparently Ethan doesn't like the name Diary of Heather Swain. Yeah, yeah, they are hacking my router, Hargrave, I know. He has decided that Swain's World would be much more fun. Isn't doing parody slash satire or whatever you want to call it with Rainbow the Brood enough? Do you need to play off of Wayne's World to give you Swain's World? And it's about a girl named Heather. Like, shouldn't her name Heather be more prominent than Swain's World? But it's typical. Ethan doesn't know what he's doing, but it doesn't matter anyway. Because you might not get it. Our friend Stu went to an estate sale a few days ago. And he DM'd me and he says, "Oh my gosh, I hope I don't know who this guy was." Yeah, yeah. It turns out it was yet another comics gator who died waiting for a book. 'Cause you know this guy ordered Rainbow the Brute. So we have another DED ComicsGate person that will never get their Rainbow the Brute or Cyberfrog 3. Stu bought a bunch of shit for $150 at that estate sale. Congratulations, Stu. Congratulations. and then this was just beautiful. I don't know if you all saw this a month or so ago. This is the design for the new Bane, for Absolute Bane. And Absolute Batman. And Graham Nolan didn't particularly care for it. He called it an abomination. As the designer and co-creator, I kind of dig it. I know, but I'm a little weird. And then, not 2 days ago, I think, Scott Snyder tweets this. He is thrilled to announce that the next big Absolute Batman arc from him and Nick Dragotta meet Bane in Abomination. Man, did Scott Snyder just give Graham Nolan the biggest fuck you. Biggest fuck you. Yes, Aldous, they said it's working. Yeah, it's nice. I have no idea what happened, but if you guys want, I got a PayPal, a Venmo, a Cash App, Zelle. Just hit me up in DMs. We can replace this old laptop. I'm so just kidding. I'm I'm just joking around. Uh, but so there we are. So there's our little catch up. I'm gonna try to string this out for a couple more minutes because I don't want the algorithm to get me in the bump on this video that I've got from Anna. They don't like certain words in the first few minutes of your video, but I couldn't figure out a different way to structure the stream. And I didn't really know where to put Anna's stupidity in with the rest of everything else, which includes Edwin Boyette striking Katydid's channel, Liam striking back at SMiller. We have Ethan talking about bringing back ComicsGate Live and a little bit more Katie Spurging. Also, Ethan gave me yet another win. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not one, but two. We'll get to that one at the very end. I'm going to save it just because it makes me super happy. Yeah. But here we go. Anna decided to do a video about the finale of Andor and how much she hated season 2. And her reasons for hating season 2, they're not very good. They're not very good at all. So let's hop on in.
And yes, I understand a lot of you guys don't agree with me, but that doesn't mean that you should go out and call, me a cunt or insult my intelligence. If anything, that says more about your intelligence than it does mine.
Oh no, honey, it doesn't. Because I'm going to end up doing both before this night is over.
Honestly think this show, the people that I've come to realize really like this show are people, and this is no offense to you guys, but it's people that don't have a more in-depth knowledge of Star Wars. Like if you're just like a basic, you've only watched the movies, maybe have a base knowledge of some of the EU kind of stuff, I can understand why you're making excuses and can somewhat enjoy this stuff. But you have any in-depth knowledge of Star Wars, you're just like, no, this is not how things work. 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 in this scenario. You're trying to tell me that a 3 + 5 = 4, and it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Anna seems to think that just having a bunch of stupid, trivial knowledge is helpful. Also, the EU is not canon. I'm sorry. So even if you have, if you're some casual, super casual fan of Star Wars who's only seen the movies, the chances of your having picked up one of the books are pretty slim. They're pretty slim. And whatever knowledge you may have gained from the EU does you no good when you're watching today's Star Wars, because the EU is not canon. It's not. The living planet that created living spaceships is not canon. It just isn't.
And then the show ends with Bix back on the wheat planet. And guess what? Shay's got a baby. Her and Andor had a little baby. And people are speculating that this is potentially Poe Dameron. And honestly, this just perfectly cements how terrible the freaking writing for this show is. Because Tony Gilroy took a character that was sympathetic, that was somewhat likable, and turned her into an absolute piece of shit. I'm sorry if this offends you, but as a woman that just had a baby, guys, it takes 2 to make that child come into existence. Any woman that does this shit is an absolute piece of fucking shit. I don't care if he's in the rebellion. We know that the dude's just gonna die in the next movie. We all know that. She doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. But guess what? This guy is making life decisions without all of the freaking facts. Any guy that fathers a child has every right to know if he fathered a freaking child. And honestly, it irritates me to my very freaking core. Again, as someone who just had a baby, my baby would not exist if it wasn't for my husband. My baby is as much as me as it is him. So for women that pull this kind of shit, I'm gonna make all the decisions, go fuck yourselves. You guys are all fucking pieces of shit. That baby wouldn't exist if it wasn't for their freaking father. So in this situation, he is going off to die, and now he's not going to be in his kid's life. That's not fair to him, and that's not fair to the freaking kid. Somebody else can go fly that plane. I did have a controversial tweet about it going on, that basically I was calling out the fact that Tony Gilroy, the creator of the show, ripped off the musical Les Miserables, or the book, depending on what you guys prefer. That doesn't mean that you should go out and call me a cunt or insult my intelligence. If anything, that says more about your intelligence than it does mine.
Anna, you're a stupid cunt. I'm sorry. I am so fucking sorry. I am sorry that you have to go through life being a completely and totally media illiterate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, if you don't understand that an overarching theme of Star Wars is children growing up, especially boys, growing up without their fathers, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you, Anna. I just don't. And she should have told him. She should have told him. Never mind that you wouldn't have any of the following shows because you wouldn't have the plans of the fucking Death Star if he hadn't have gone on his mission. Somebody else could have flown that plane. Why? We've been following Andor, the guy the series is fucking named for, into the second goddamn season. Why would somebody else be doing his job suddenly? Because she's pregnant? She's gonna tell him, oh, honey, there's a bun in the oven. Don't fly the plane. Really? And sacrifice everything they've all worked for, sacrifice everything this was her big fucking sacrifice, you stupid cunt. Everybody sacrifices. That's part of the story. It's the overarching theme. How do you watch this stuff and not understand it? And no, granted, I have not seen, I am going to go ahead, I will admit, and I should have said this earlier, I have not seen season 2 of Andor yet. And I didn't have time to watch it before this stream, and I apologize for that, but I have read up. And from what I have read and just the few facts I know for a solid fact that they weren't ripping off Les Mis. They weren't. This, honey, was an homage. We used to call these things Easter eggs. Right? So you get her examples are literally this. Such crazy shit. You have and Anna can't decide whether or not she's comparing it to the movie or the musical. And I never saw the musical. I watched that pretentious piece of shit movie and thought it sucked. I read the book years and years ago. Yeah. I mean, I actually had a class in high school that was just about the French Revolution. So, whatever. But because you have a mob scene of rebels coming, I mean, and I'm assuming that's what this is, right? That this is a ripoff because they did it in the musical. Because this never happens anywhere else in any other fucking movie over the course of time. Big mobs in front of buildings as they rebel and throw off their yoke, right? So this is one example that she gives of how they ripped off Les Mis for Andor. Her next example is that she says that Andor is Jean Valjean and Cyril is Javert. Well, as far as I can tell, she only thinks Andor is Jean Valjean because both actors are swarthy and kind of French looking, right? The other two, they only have a passing resemblance because one is kind of wearing a military-ish uniform, which would be Cyril and not Javert. And they can't be the same people because their story arcs are completely fucking different. Andor, and I guess he dies on his mission. Jean Valjean did not. Jean Valjean ended up dying from loneliness after his daughter was stripped away from him. Javert and Lemiz. Now, from what I get, Cyril gets popped in the head by Andor's people, right? Javert in Les Mis, he goes off and kills himself. Totally different story arcs, totally different paths. Neither actually had any sort of redemption at all. At the end, they did during their stories, but they don't see the fruit of their good acts and the things that they felt that they did that should have elevated their position in the eyes of others, right? They had different fucking stories, Anna. I don't know what happened in the musical, because I never saw it. Maybe Javert gets shot in the head right there on stage. I don't know. But I do know that they are not the
It felt
same
so
fucking
fitting.
thing. And then her final piece of evidence that they are the same is she has found this clip. The actor that plays Cyril basically quotes Les Mis, what life he thought he was living during the SW live stream, then proceeds to describe Javert, Cyril's character. So we're going to listen to him real quick, okay?
For Cyril to have that end, for the life that he thought he was living to come crashing down around him, and for him to meet what he thinks kind of the reason for his life and for the things that he's lost and for his anger and frustration, to meet Cassian again right at the very end and exercise kind of all of his frustrations and anger. Yeah, it was just perfect for him to have that ending. I was so happy.
It's a trope, you stupid cunt. It's a turn of phrase. It's something you find a lot in movies, right? That's the thing. You wake up and you realize that the life you thought you had isn't the life you really are living. And how else do you fucking describe that aside from the life he thought he had isn't the life that he was really living? I don't know, Anna. I don't know. All I know is you're a stupid cunt. She's going to be doing a video, by the way. She's going to expand more because apparently it's blocked the same. And like I said, those are the kind of things we used to call Easter eggs. When a scene is set up the way it was in something else. They had a linguist on this set who came up with the accent for this new planet that they're on. And I haven't listened to it, like I said, I haven't watched it yet, that what she did is she used a lot of the French vowels in the accent as a nod towards the French Revolution and the French resistance during World War II. Something I'm sure Anna knows absolutely nothing about. unless it was in a movie. Maybe. But then she'd have to retain it, and, she eats dirt. So, I don't know what else to say about that. It's horrible. These and she gets away with it. And there are people out there arguing on Twitter supporting her position, which is even crazier. Man, of course she's getting a lot of rollover, which is normal for Anna because she always manages to step in something. It's the way she lives her online life. But getting all emotional because you just had a baby and ranting on a video, an edited video, it's not even a live stream, about how you wouldn't have a baby without the father. Well, neither would Bix. She just chose a different path. She chose the selfless path. Anna, you would have chosen the selfish one. Fuck everybody else. Fuck getting the plans to the Death Star. I need to spend the rest of my life with this man. Okay. But at least we know where you're coming from.
Fun, sir.
Now somebody later on tonight will probably be e-fapping fucking Liam. It'll probably be Risey. That seems to be his new job. Right? Right? Well, tonight it won't be Risey. It will be me. I am giving Risey the night off. And I know I have talked about not doing any more Liam content. But people, this actually fits into this whole new weird paradigm that is happening. And I want to explain it a little bit, as much as I can. But we're going to have to, unfortunately, EFAP some Liam. Well, it's not really an EFAP because I went and I went ahead and I edited some video. And I'm going to have to load it up because I have a lot of shit that I play apparently. And this just is, let's see, we will start with this video, which I think I already had loaded, so that was kind of stupid. I am just... It's getting late, people. It's after 10. It's time for me to have a nap. But here we go.
Katie, you have the link if you want to come in. It's in the ComicsGate.
Poor Katie.
Green room. Yeah.
Poor Katie.
Poor Katie.
YouTube
now,
sucks.
If that happened, and we don't know if that happened, I wonder if somebody asked him to do that. If he did that.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Yeah, Edwin apparently has no agency. He would have to be told to do something. And if any of you guys know Edwin, that just ain't the way shit works.
Yeah.
Recognize this. Myself and the rest of the team, we get to wake up every single day and do what we love. And
oh my God.
You get to wake up.
You guys are letting him wake up and do what he loves and make subpar comics.
Why do I have to join you guys in hell, by the way? Why do I have to join you guys in hell?
I don't know, man. This is the worst in the world. He gets to wake up every morning at 4 a.m. and do what he loves. The Saska sisters, at least one of them, maybe both of them at the same time.
Oh.
Well, it's true. Not in too many comics. But you know what? Like, it comes from a certain crowd, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Like, like on the internet, everybody's talking about you're a pedophile, child porn, all this stuff. Marvel Comics hires these women to do a Black Widow book, and it's like about CP and like fucking child trafficking and shit. Like, who wants to read that? Who's trying to read that shit? Well, they're real bad guys. Why is that on your mind all the time? Why do these people have this on their mind all the time? Katie did. Can you tell me?
Maybe because they're psychos and nut jobs and don't know how to write a story.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to write a story. God, she's fucking weird.
So, yeah, it's weird. It's always bad guys. And I'm like, why? Like, do you not have, like,
can you write about
not an
bank
asshole?
robbery, or can you write about terrorism, or
I mean, you might as well. You're already there with the assholes.
And Cowboy says, "Write what you know." See?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too. And then I got that lovely email, and I knew right off the bat it's him. I mean, it's very obvious because within the hour of him striking the video, he put out a long post and was pretty much ranting about John. What the post was about, I couldn't tell you because I can't read his shit. Like it, he's all over the place. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously you've got a bonus because you watched that clip. So
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read. That was a little googly, I think, on my end at least. I'm going to go ahead and read Edwin's tweet. In general, I'm happy to ignore most comic skaters in the individual and specific sense. From time to time, if a comic skater makes an egregiously false statement about me on YouTube, I'll use the tools available on the site to seek a correction or retraction. What I won't do, at least for free, is engage in some tedious dialogue on X with the sub-rational. I report on my macro trends. It's easy to persuade me to ignore you. Don't make malicious or false statements. I've got most of ComicsGate muted or blocked because there is no measurable value to me in interacting with their content. For further clarity, I'm not going to engage in some back and forth YouTube clout. Has zero value to me. The disapproval of YouTube addicts is also irrelevant to me. I can't be coerced or compelled. I will happily and unapologetically use any of the mechanisms available to me to mitigate bad actors. Apparently, that was too much for Katie Did's brain to handle. Regular English, but then again, she says pacifically. And we also get to compare it to her response to Edwin, which, frankly, good Lord, woman. Unfortunately, I won't be able to upload any clips or do any live streams for a week. Today, I received news that my Ballers clip was struck for harassment and bullying. Last month, I uploaded a clip from Ballers about Edwin Boyette, and I received a warning. Now, this new clip I put out today also talks about Edwin, and it's gone now, too. It's odd that out of all the clips I've done, those two have caused me trouble because someone got their feelings hurt and then decided to post a long-ass tweet about John Malin. Katie, you already got in trouble with Matt Barr. He took one look at the trailer that you live in and decided not to pursue the DMCA. So please, honey. Edwin, hey buddy, grow the fuck up. You can deny it all you want, but it was you that came after my channel. You're scared of Ethan, Shane, and John, so you come at me. What's also odd is you posted that long-ass tweet about John Malin 1 hour after my channel was hit. You're not good at hiding your actions you post. Yeah, I know, I did not correct her grammar. Your friends can put up video and images of John putting a gun to his head, and that's okay, but people talking about you is a big no-no. Grow a pair of balls, old man. By the way, I'll be back, and until then, I'll be posting those clips to my Rumble channel. I'm sorry, Katie did, but Edwin's balls are bigger than you can fucking imagine. They just are. Being in the infantry will do that to you, honey. Now, Edwin never denied that he struck Katie, that he reported Katie Did's video. And, you know, play act at this whole YouTube, don't report, don't do this, don't ever do that. But Edwin's not a YouTuber. What the fuck does he care? He doesn't have to play by those stupid fucking rules. He just doesn't. And the idea that he is scared of Ethan or Shane who got choked out by the FedEx guy, or John Malin who will be out of breath before he gets halfway down his driveway? What? What is he supposed to be scared of? They aren't going to promote his fucking comic? What could they possibly do to Edwin? Listen, where Edwin and I live, he doesn't live too far from me. Nobody there, nobody here knows anything about fucking ComicsGate. Nobody. When we tell people, they look at you like you're fucking nuts. You try to explain this shit. It's tough, honey. It's hard. And you know, we don't care what you say about us and when it comes to our real lives, especially Edwin. And if you lie about Edwin, he'll take the measures that he feels are necessary. And those things are available to him. Those tools you can report, you can call it false flagging, but if YouTube took your channel down before you went ahead and took your little course and did the little doohickey, and then you finish up and you appeal, and they say, oh, you must be a good girl. Well, we'll give you your video back. Doesn't mean that Edwin wasn't within his rights to report you. And it seems, honey, that despite your continuing anger at Edwin for no fucking real reason, YouTube corrected it and did what you wanted, and you have the video back. It's back. So everything worked out for the best, right?
I don't. But so I don't. I wonder, like with Rippaverse, I was thinking with the way Yellow Flash was performing, that should probably just open up to anybody, right? Like, I mean, if you got a big
and they're still just streaming about Eric July. Every one of these big streamers that I checked out. So you got John, Ethan, who didn't stream for a few days, but came back and took an hour and a half to EFAP a 4-minute video about Eric July. That's all they're still doing, by the way. Every time I spot checked a video, it was all about Eric July.
YouTuber with 500,000 subs can't hit 6 figures. Like, it should just be open to anybody. But now it's still like, obviously we're just catering to the YouTube buddies of mine. That's Rippaverse, me and my YouTube buddies.
Yeah. Well, he's had a lot of.
Here's some irony for you people. What is ComicsGate? What is ComicsGate? ComicsGate is Ethan, Shane, and John and all of their YouTube buddies now. That's all. And they think that the Rippaverse and Ripascend and doing this anthology is anything different than YouTube buddies?
People put in their applications for it. Like I see them asking all the time when he does these streams. And I even clipped one of them where they're like, hey, you know, how can we apply to Rippaverse? Hey, I turn in my application, you know. And he just kind of gives them the hibbity-jibbity and just moves on to the next thing.
He gives him the hibbity-jibbity and moves on to the next thing because he's separating what he's doing on YouTube from the actual running of his business, you stupid bint. What is he supposed to say? To some rando in the chat? Oh, yeah, buddy, I'll be, you know, now that you've shown up in my chat, I'll be sure to publish your book. What the fuck? Of course he's gonna say, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go through the process. Or, I'm sure we've received it, and we'll be taking a look at it. Or something professional. But you don't hang out with professionals here, Katie, so you don't know how that works.
So it's like, it's obvious, Eric.
We were talking about ComicsGate Live again last night. I meant to ask you about that, Ethan. What brought that up?
The horror.
People like Sean and Vasilis, people who are launching books, and we owe it to them. Even though we've been beaten into the ground, and we are like literally, Sean, I mean, I apologize to you and Vasilis. I apologize to all you guys. I literally am so beaten up by these retards and just the past 8 years of history. That like the thought of doing ComicsGate Live again is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. But then
My heart just so bleeds for him. These 8 years of hell, which had nothing at all to do with his own behavior.
again, that's what they want, right? Like, it would make those people very happy to know that like I'm too tired to do ComicsGate Live, so we can't let them win.
I think you're rolling with a whole different mindset and whole different crew at this point.
Yeah.
Amen. I would like to
just
see
'cause
you
there's
bring
some
it back.
confusion here. Just because there's some confusion here, real quick. Salty, this is closing because it says 4 days left. It's closing down tonight.
Yeah. So I was basically doing closeout show on my show because it was May 13th when we started the show. And again, 13 is my favorite number. It was also a nice little nod to 13 colonies of the American Revolution. So we won't be promoting it past tonight, but I'll leave it open until for 4 days. But I'm not going to be promoting it anymore. I'm going to be done after tonight, and then we'll just move on to issue 4 and the next comic book that I have to do before that, which is People's Republic, which you get a 6-page preview of that in this.
Salty is an idiot as well. He has 4 days left on his campaign, and because of some weird, something like some cutesy little numbers game he wants to play, he's going to stop promoting his book for the final 4 days. Man.
Does that make sense?
Yes, to
right?
me.
Everyone?
On to the next.
So he can go and promote other people, which is nice. He's grabbing an oar, I guess. Probably make better use of it than Richie did, hopefully. But why would you stop promoting your own shit before the campaign even closes? And it's not like he's making a whole lot of money. And that's really what this bringing back ComicsGate Live thing is. And Katie's saying, oh, bring it back. We really need to bring it back. Do you guys remember what ComicsGate Live was like? Sure, it was the same 5 or 6 people on every fucking stream. Wanger, Narwhal, like, it's not like he was bringing tons of new people. And why did he stop doing ComicsGate Live? Does anybody remember why he stopped doing ComicsGate Live? Ethan stopped doing ComicsGate Live because he realized he was surrounded by a bunch of fucking retards who weren't putting out their books, or the books were just not really good quality, because we all read Super Harem, right? Sorry, I said right again. I'm really trying hard to get rid of some of these verbal tics. But he stopped doing ComicsGate Live simply because he didn't want to be promoting a bunch of shit. Well, I mean, that was one of his excuses. The other one, he was just lazy and didn't want to really be promoting anybody else at all because it was no longer necessary. When he stopped ComicsGate Live, ComicsGate was he at least was sort of on this trajectory of success. And all he needed ComicsGate Live for was to pull in backers for his own shit, because that is what he mostly promoted. And then he didn't need those people anymore. But now he needs a new group. Because as I've been saying since he ran out the Dungeoneers, all the B-list talent in ComicsGate left. It left with Bancroft and Fowley and everybody else who was associated with the Dungeoneers. You lost your promoters. You lost, like, most of your Janny Mafia, for fuck's sake, Ethan. When you went after Leroy because he called Mandy a whore and complained about late books. And then you went after Vanessa and Amanda. More people that promoted books within ComicsGate, including your guys's. Including yours, Ethan. And Shane's. Probably would have promoted this salty dude too. Right? Yeah, I did it again. But think about it. So now he needs a whole new group of people.
Yeah. All right, so everybody, make sure to get in there and back it tonight. We're at 12,579. Let's get to 13 if we can. And there you guys go.
And a couple people saying no. Well, here the end of the day is like I'm done promoting after tonight because we got other people to promote. We got Patrick Quinlan. We got to promote.
Patrick Quinlan's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, we got the people. You know, in order to do ComicsGate Live, we need to have some new folks who more people need to know about. Everybody already knows about Narwhal right now, you know.
Narwhal left ComicsGate. You were shitting on Narwhal not too long ago, if I remember correctly. And now we're supposed to be like, oh, yeah, Narwhal. ComicsGate produced Narwhal, and look at the success he's having.
So we need some new folks.
I think it'd be a great idea, Ethan, to bring it back because they're, at least the folks that I've had on my show, like there's a lot of great guys here that have really good campaigns that are very humble. They don't ask really for anything. They just want you to take a look at their campaign and buy their book. They're like Patrick and Justin Belmont and so many people, Apex Comics, you know, BA, like there's a lot of great guys here that deserve a little spotlight. But I do have to agree with Salty on his thoughts on that too. I agree, Salty.
Yeah, we got to get Liam Gray. Like, I mean, Liam's got some new books. You know, I mean, this is the thing, guys. You know, we do need to do it. We do need to bring back ComicsGate Live in this infernal creative pit that we find ourselves in. Even our backstabbers tune in to watch us roast their flops. We really do. Misery loves a live stream. And Shane, you know, we are the devils that these people cannot resist. They love watching us and talk about us all the time.
I hate every moment that I edit these videos, just so you all know.
We do need to do this. And I got to get Liam Gray back up to six figures again. God, that'd be great. He's never been in six figures, but he will.
I think he was talking about Dino King 2 last night. I couldn't understand if he's cutting it up into 2 and 3 or what.
He's debating. I think he's debating.
Yeah.
He's debating. Oh, man. Bringing back ComicsGate Live so that he can chew up some more young creators or new creators and spit them out. And Katie, she's just going to feed them to him, man. Just feed them to him. And the one she lists, B.A. fucking Turner, he's been sniffing around inside ComicsGate forever. He was just, nobody liked him enough, so he wasn't ever, like, invited into the cool kids club. You know, it's why he's still around after the Dungeoneers. All of these guys, they were the guys, they're like the bottom, scraping the bottom of the C-list CG barrel. Seriously. But hey, Katie's gonna promote them all, and they have all these new guys that seem to be centering around Dan Lawless, which is really, really odd. But why would Ethan be suddenly talking about getting Liam to six figures? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Liam did something the day before. Just for Ethan's ass pats.
Oh, Liam's wanting the link, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I was actually going to head out because I got to get up early in the morning, but it's just been a pleasure.
Yeah, what's up?
So, that guy left, and Von Klaus left, and somebody else had left the stream too, I believe, before Liam came on. But this is new CG. These are the guys Ethan is depending on to help him grow the ComicsGate audience and get him backers because he desperately needs backers. He found out the sector ain't fucking backing shit. They don't care. They're not going to be buying your books. So maybe we should have been reaching out to other comic artists. And then you get these guys, Salty and Savage, who get like, I don't know, maybe they have like 300 subs. I don't know what kind of live viewers they get. You got Dan Lawless, who's drank the Kool-Aid so deep, he's not even sure what fucking flavor it is anymore. You got Eric Weathers, who apparently just stopped was working with July, but no longer is. And then you've got these guys that I have no idea who the fuck they are. And I don't even care. But they all seem to be congealing around Dan Lawless, which is interesting because it kind of, to me, and your mileage may vary, reminds me of the people who sort of congealed around Shane early on. So you got, this is, I would call Katie, maybe Katie did, is like the new capo for the Wrench Mafia 2.0. Don't be surprised when all of the new Jannies start dropping links to the same fucking IGGs all the time. Exactly. Who is Dan Lawless? That is a question that nobody can truly answer. But man, I think he is tickling Ethan's appendix.
I've been busy, so I understand this correctly. Edwin Boyette has struck Katie's channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am Liam Gray. Edwin Boyette, if you do not release the strike on Katie's channel, and if you continue to do this, I will spend the next week watching Mike Miller's videos. I will issue strikes across all of his platforms and all of his channels for all of the time that he committed harassment and bullying against this little koala guy. And I will remove Mike SMiller from the internet.
Oh,
if this continues, this is how things will be done.
Damn.
That's all.
Sounds good to me.
How's that? How's that? How's that for fair play? How's that for fair play?
And
How's
welcome to the show,
option?
Liam. Well, now you got to unscrew your microphone and drop it on the ground.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
David Williams is in the chat.
Sounds good to me. Right? Just sounds great.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
going to be busy. I'm
David.
going to be busy for the next. I'm going to be busy doing stuff for the next week, so I can definitely just throw a bunch of videos up on the stream and take notes.
Wait, hold on. We got David Williams in the chat, though. I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan of David Williams. So much so.
Yeah, he's
This
awesome.
guy's. So he did a comic of.
So then Liam posts up on Twitter. For striking at Katie Did's Clips channel and being a general nuisance, I am going to spend the next 3 weeks watching every anti-CG video while I work on DK2 and reporting them to YouTube for TOS violations. Sorry, not sorry. Better hide those videos, haters, and not talk about Liam. Oh, honey, I gonna be talking. You can't stop me from talking. And then the next one has been out there today striking those channels. I struck so many of Mike S. Miller's videos, I think I got carpal tunnel from it. Who should I strike next? Dark Gift? He's been a pain in the ass the last couple of days. Oh boy, here I go striking again. And then we get to this tweet by Not a Fed, who had gotten a hold of some DMs and got permission, unlike Ethan, to show those DMs. And this is from Liam. You not believing anything is the tactic. I don't surrender information freely because every time I've done it, it backfires and it's ignored. Plus, the police tell me not to. They're trying to get me to kill myself. That is their hobby. This is not a joke or drama tweet. You need only look at the background of my haters to figure it out. I can't be controlled. Therefore, I must be destroyed. Also, keep it to yourself, but I'm not striking anyone. I'm just fucking with my haters. Miller's trying to get people's channels taken offline, including mine, so am pissing in his face. I'm trying to show people their actions and behavior and how they are motivated and driven by fear and breeding fear in others. They will act like me saying I am striking them is real and blow me up into a massive villain while they are actively striking other people's channels unironically. And I won't actually do anything. But everyone in their entire space will spurg and lecture me about it, showing the absolute hypocrites that they are. Liam, is it necessary for me to remind you that the reason you were originally ostracized from ComicsGate was striking people's channels? Is this something that you really want people to believe that you are continuing to do? Now, I like you, Liam. I do. And doing this, man... Oh, boy. But all you did was remind me of when you took down Shitty Web Comics YouTube channel because they reviewed your books. When you struck Mike S. Miller because, was it Smug, used a PFP of you. When you struck Nasser. I mean, that is what we remember. That is what everybody else who used to be ComicsGate, and maybe even some people still in ComicsGate, and this is why you're not getting any fucking traction unless Ethan tries to prop you up, Liam. I'm sorry, but that's the way this shit goes. You can't publicly say, I'm striking channels, and then say, in private, I'm not really doing it, when you're telling all these other fabrications, Liam. I know, it muddies the water. What do you believe? Do you believe that Liam's doing it, or do you believe that Liam's not? Which one are you supposed to believe? Because Liam puts it both ways. We can't take you at your word, because you're showing that your word means absolutely nothing. And your receipts always suck, Liam. They always fucking suck. They're always missing shit. There's big ol' holes, or you show receipts of shit that mean nothing. A receipt of a video of being at the police station where they're talking about the multiple reports you filed does not prove that anything in those reports is true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know what to believe anymore because I can't fucking believe you. I can't believe anything you say now. It just... is that some weird Australian thing that I just don't understand? Maybe. But, dude. Months ago, I had recommended that you just stop engaging with ComicsGate. And I know, now you're looking for a new home inside this new little group that's coalescing around the new capo Katie did, who's been certified by Ethan. And nothing anybody says negative about Katie did is gonna hurt. Nothing. We can all sit here and talk about Katie did and dog demons and her stupid fanfic, and none of it's gonna make any difference. None. But Liam needs to find a new home, just like D-Wag needs to find a new home, and that's where they're finding their new home, with new CG. And then And then to further give Liam some ass pats, we get this from Ethan. A small group of pedophiles are currently accusing Liam Gray of lying about a few minor things, but you know that koala guy is always honest. Is he? Is he always honest? You know it in your hearts, even if some of what you infer from things you thought you heard him say isn't entirely strictly accurate. It rings true in your hearts. No, I'm sorry, I want truth. I don't care how you feel about somebody, obviously, because I like Liam, and here I am, is you gotta tell the fucking truth. Just like you need to tell the truth, Ethan. Why is the truth such a rare fucking commodity? And thank you, Ethan, for, endorsing Liam continuing to lie. And what was Liam lying about? Or what is it that this quote group of pedophiles, and we know who he's talking about, even though he's gonna fucking deny it. He's talking about Matt Barr and LRJ and everybody else who's quote anti-ComicsGate and over in this section of the ecosystem, right? That's who he's talking about.
Let's see what else he has to say. I haven't seen
This is what they're giving him shit over. This is the last big lie that Liam told. It's a lie that he told to SMiller and to Dark Gift in a back room that somehow he thought would never find a way out. Dude, it's Dark Gift and SMiller. And can we say that the reason he's striking SMiller is because of this? It is because of what the lie Liam told that snuck out, and apparently he can't tell the difference between Edwin Boyette and Mike S. Miller. They're one in the same unit to Liam.
You're the one that told us that the slime, you had slime locked down in Scholastic. That's what you told Mike Miller. If you've got all these things lined up, brother, what the fuck are you doing over here?
Slimed has already been published by Scholastic.
If you've got all these things lined up, brother, what the fuck are you doing over here scraping pennies?
Because you need proof of concept and finished product. Like something else that I can talk about. Okay, here's something I can talk about, and everyone can say this is fiddlesticks and stories, but like everything, give it time. Liam's not going to fulfill his book. Oh, he did. Liam can't do this. Liam can't draw. Oh, he did. How about just for once, as impossible as it seems, people just have a little bit of faith in me? Where I'm in negotiation for a $2 to $17 million animated series here in Australia. All I have to do is lock down the director, which we're in negotiations with, right? And this is stuff that I can potentially put work to. And then I won't have to worry about anything again. I can go back to just being Liam, where I just kick back and I'm generous and I help everyone.
I don't believe a word of it. Right? This is an older video that I had put up on my Twitter. But it was important. It fits. It's part of what's going the fuck on here. Right? Liam, you lied about Slimed. You lied about it. You can sit there and say I never said it, but you did. I knew about it. I had known about a Liam Gray up on Amazon, but he was from there was another one. I think he was from England or something like that. And I never really gave it much thought. Maybe you should find him. You could pretend you wrote his book too. But you didn't write Slimed. And the chances of you having some big, huge movie deal are pretty fucking slim, Liam. But we can't believe you. Because you're out there claiming you're striking channels and in private you're saying you're not? I don't know. I'm willing to wager that you may have struck a couple of videos. Why not? You know? It just doesn't help, Liam, when you're not telling the truth. And you do it all the time. And you're going to sit there and once again, just like I said in my video a few months ago, you're going to say that you are telling the truth, but we can't believe you. We can't. But here's you found a new group with Katie and Salty and D-Wag. And I guess you're ignoring Von Klaus being part of it. And the exact same thing is going to happen there that happened here. They're all going to eventually be like, Liam, you're full of fucking shit. And you're going to be ostracized. And even though this group is fine with flagging people for no fucking reason, unless, of course, they're the ones who get flagged, it's not going to help you in the long run. And that's another thing. They're also ready to just dox people and share DMs and just do all this horrible stuff that even, you know, they're what? They want to be the new war campaign, maybe? I don't know. Katie certainly seems to have the fucking attitude for it. And speaking of Katie, I want to just show you guys this real quick. This is an example of how bad Katie did is at clipping. So the video is one that she clipped from Ethan, and Ethan was e-fapping Ray, aka Saggy Melons, about, she's back to Ray again. He was e-fapping a stream that she did talking about Yellow Flash's fake doxing gay op. If you guys want, there's a video on Dean's channel, Yellow Flash Electric Boogaloo 2, I believe is the name of it, where he discusses and talks with a woman about how Yellow Flash tried to fake being doxed. I didn't listen to all of Katie Did's clip because this was the only part that seemed, I don't know, relevant.
So here's Yellow Flash letting me know that I can see this. This, I believe, is this the cover? Wait a second here. What cover is this?
You got it, Ethan. I believe in you.
This might be.
I'm sorry, it was Ray e-fapping Ethan. It's been a long day. So Katie thinks
So
that
here's
the
Yellow
best
Flash
for her, the best way to have started that freaking video was actually Ethan explaining how he could
I
get
can see this. This, I
Yellow
believe,
Flash's docs.
Is this the cover? Wait a second here. What cover?
He's
is this?
examining a picture of a book, trying to figure
You
out
got
which
it, Ethan. I
fucking
believe
book it
in-
is.
I believe in you.
This might be.
Right? Wait, I can find the book. I know what the book is. And I don't know why that clip's all fucked up.
So here's
Fuck
Yellow-
it. But anyway, this is how it starts. It's Ethan talking about how he could easily dox Yellow Flash as he examines the book to see which fucking one it was. Which exact book, which issue, which fucking cover. Ethan's looking at it. Oh, I know. Now all I have to do is go back. And I can see who ordered that fucking book. And Katie, who's supposed to be a pro-Ethan channel, includes that in her clip. Why? Why would you do that? It makes no fucking sense. You know? It makes no sense. But we did get a little bit of, before I showed up here today, there was some, I ran across Not a Fed, and they, on Twitter, and they posted this video of Katie did spurging about Edwin. And it's just too fucking good.
They can't.
Or maybe find some better map that doesn't get you fucked in the head, Edwin. Well, fuck. You know what? Samurai, you were mentioning about the trash cast this morning and watching that clip. I find it so funny that he goes, y'all are going against women. And I'm like, oh, really? Really? Please tell me more of this Edwin from the past. How did you really feel about people being attacked? And it blew my mind how someone can be all for free speech, no bullying, none of the shit war campaign tactics. And then all of a sudden, he's all buddy-buddy with fucking war campaign, and he's getting all the acknowledgement and praises, and they're stroking his dick and patting his head and saying, you go, Methwin, you are awesome. And he's like, oh, I feel accepted. Oh, I'm going to be on this side. Hey, fuck everybody. I've never really had morals in the first place. Methwin, you are a piece of shit. Fucking please, for the love of God, get a goddamn haircut, because I'm so sick and tired of seeing you run your fingers through your hair about fucking 5 times within a 10-second moment. Fucking cut the shit off. You look gay, and you're not Fabio. Get over it. You're fucking old. You're a worthless piece of shit that nobody, even your family, probably don't give a shit about you because you're online too much. Which tells me that in your real life, nobody gives a fuck about you. So you try to find acceptance from a bunch of dumb, degenerate, lying bastards. So go fuck yourself, Methwin.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do it.
And I have a right to say this, Methwin, because it's my freedom of speech, right? Isn't that what you stood for back in the day? For people to have the right to speak their mind?
Now, I just gotta say, at least Edwin can put his hands through his hair, Katie. He's not getting stuck in your wig. Like, I have to say, I'm assuming, because I started watching a little, well, I peeked through Ethan's early morning trash cast, which of course was just bitching more about Yellow Flash, literally an hour and a half EFAPing a 4-minute fucking video. And I think I remember seeing something they'd played, one of the clips, probably the post Fall of Rome. I don't know if you all remember. Of course you do. Some of you were around. If you were around during the Fall of Rome, that was SMiller and Edwin telling Ethan, basically, you need to get rid of war campaign. That's why Ethan blocked me on Twitter the first time, because I told him he needed to get rid of war campaign, that they were bad for business. And Katie, honey, the women that he was talking about, well, I was one of them. I was being stalked by a member of War Campaign. I am not saying it was all of War Campaign. It was one dude in War Campaign. Went through all of my socials to figure out where I lived, who I lived with, and would post to let me know that he had gone through my entire Twitter. And I didn't, at the time, I wasn't posting anything that was like personal at all. I think I had posted a tweet about us bugging out for Florence, a hurricane. And I had talked with I had DM'd with Edwin about it. He did a video about people in ComicsGate being harassed, being doxxed, being stalked by members of War Campaign. As a matter of fact, he even talked about Pan being doxxed at the time. The next day, he had deleted his Twitter account. Good luck, Ethan, trying to trying to share those fucking DMs. But yeah, and now you expect to put Edwin under some sort of, I don't know, guilt by association microscope, when all of us have known each other for fucking ever. Edwin's known the guys in War Campaign. They all hung out. Edwin was the beginning of fucking ComicsGate when he came in with Mike Miller. He was part of Indicron. He supported artists and creators in ComicsGate more than I think you ever will be able to do, Katie. And you can sit there and you can spurg about a man you do not fucking know and call him a druggie because of an old joke told by War Campaign about white drugs that you don't even understand the origin of. And then call it freedom of speech. Well, no, honey. When you accuse people of doing things that they don't do, like dope, that's not really freedom of speech. That's libel and defamation. Just like when Ethan was on Twitter railing about pedophiles going after Liam Gray. And by the way, Ethan, I don't know if you remember, but there was a stream on Oz's channel. I believe it's the one where you went after Pan. And at the end, Liam gives a screed about how ComicsGate is just chock full of pedophiles. Some of those people are still here that Liam called pedophiles for no fucking reason. Just say it. And Katie, honey, you should spurg less, learn more. You should watch the content on my channel and the early content on Dean's channel and the content on this channel, and maybe you'll learn something about fucking ComicsGate. Because it's not all about grabbing oars and promoting people's crowd funds. It's now going to be about, maybe, Ethan's never going to do the ComicsGate live thing. Well, he might now because I just said that he wouldn't. But it's not about Ethan promoting people because he's not going to do it. He makes those noises every few months. He'll do one stream and then it'll be done. Maybe two. He might be able to get John Malin to do another Malin Presents. Shane will bring people on. Because Shane... Shane sees you as a promotional tool. They all do. Not for your friends. Not for Salty. Not for Vaughn. But for Ethan, Shane, and Malin. And that's it. Mandy doesn't even get any love anymore, honey. At all. And I have one final thing left today. And this is Ethan gave me 2 big wins the other day. I know. Not 1, but 2.
So good, Shane, man. That is so awesome.
Shane, you're doing a great job. I just want to shout out my president. I never doubted him for a minute. I had all these people. I was a little scared. I had all these people like, all this stuff Ethan's making in China is fucked. Ethan's fucked. And I just thought to myself, if I'm fucked, everybody's fucked. You know what I mean? Like Hasbro is, McFarlane, everybody's fucked.
Those big, huge companies can absorb costs that Ethan cannot. Ethan does not have the money to absorb the costs like Hasbro would on tariffs.
Welcome, David Williams, by the way. Hello, David.
David.
Hey, David.
Hey, Dave.
Trump took down those tariffs today for the next 3 months. So go on like everything that we had in production. I paused everything for a minute. Didn't want to say it aloud because I didn't want to give Vickyverse a W, but I pressed pause on everything. Today we hit pause again. So back to work, and we're gonna get all this shit done before like the next 3 months.
The man didn't want to be honest with his backers because he didn't want to give me a win. Well, Ethan, thank you for giving me two. One, by being dishonest with your backers, and then two, by, for some fucking reason, admitting it on a stream. I want to thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I really do. And he does. He seems to think that he is on par with McFarlane and Hasbro. And can we talk a second? So, Ethan put a pause on production of his shit in China. Right? Okay. All right. I gotcha. Does Ethan think that he can just call up the guys in China and he doesn't, and he's not going to be put at the back of the line? He removed himself from the queue, the production queue. Is he really going to get his cars and his action figures in 90 days? There were proofs for a car that he was sent. They're going to have to send him more proofs because he wanted to make changes. The action figures, God, they got fucked up big time the last 2 times. I can't imagine that that's going to be a smooth run. So does anybody think he's really going to have it here in 90 days? There's a possibility, sure. But he's also forgetting about the lunchbox. The Rainbow the Brute lunchbox. Which he still has to have manufactured. Apparently it's going to be a big fucking plastic thing, even though he promised an old-fashioned metal mailbox. And that's going to have to be made in China. So, yeah, Ethan, I still say you're kind of fucked. But thank you very much. Thank you. So, let's go ahead and... Yes, old dirty fatty. Evan doesn't care about getting things done on time. I think he does hate his customers. He likes his customers' money, but he doesn't like his customers very much. So, but thank you guys so very much for stopping by the stream this evening. I might be back next week, hopefully on Sunday. Man, shit just got a little too out of control over here in the real world for me to get that and get into everything done by yesterday. So, and then today, jeez, can't believe I boomered something. Like I said, I need a new computer. I'm always taking donations. Just kidding. Really, just kidding. I'll be fine. But good night, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you next time.